Hey everyone, uh, welcome to the basement, welcome to quarantine, hope you're having a great time. I guess if you're in 7A, you're not quarantined, you're having a great time, you're living the good life, enjoy it. Today we're going to be doing our final project for Adobe Spark, and I guess what I'm thinking about here is that Adobe Spark is really about being able to tell stories. And so what we're going to be doing with our last project here is just that. We're going to be telling stories, personal stories, your stories. And I'll give you an example shortly here, but we're just going to dive into really quickly Spark here and just show you exactly what we're going to be doing. So I'll start here, actually. Ha ha ha. I want you to think of a story that you want to tell that comes from your own experience, something awesome you did, a great trip you went on, a moment of great triumph or great failure, a dream you have of something that you want to accomplish someday. Make a copy of the document, this one here that we're reading right now. It'll be on Brightspace, of course. Plan out the elements of your story. So where and when did this story take place? Who was involved? What happened? And be detailed, not just, I went to the beach and I swam and I saw some fish. Then I came home. Not enough detail, right? Make it something that's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. Something that you would tell to your friends because you want them to think you're cool. Or just that you want to tell someone to make them laugh or get some sort of a response out of them. Because that's what storytelling is, right? It's a way to share our feelings about things and to get an emotional response out of people. So we want to do that. So we're going to have a little planner down below here. There. Oh, I went right by it. But it's right there. And when you finish the planner and if added your link, you can submit the document on Darkspace, the link to your Brightspace, to your Adobe Spark program. I'm doing this late at night. I'm sorry. There's a sample project. There'll be a link to the thing that I'm making right now. So a little bit of inception there. Weird. Anyway, and I figure someone's going to ask me this. So yes, the answer is yes. Are we going to be presenting these? Yes. Yep. You are. Affirmative. One thing as we go into this is to remember that your presentation should be visual. Don't write your story on your presentation. Okay? Don't do it. A bunch of you grade 7s, you love doing this stuff. Don't do it. The worst thing you can do in the world is when you have a PowerPoint and you go up to the front of class and you sit there and you read off your slides and your classmates are bored and you're bored and your teacher is bored. Don't do it. The reason we have the presentation up on the board is so you can add visuals, maybe a little bit of text for added information, but so you can show people stuff. The words come out of your mouth, not off the screen. Sorry, I got a little upset there. But anyway, let's jump over to Spark and take a look. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to make a presentation. It kind of comes out like a web page. In fact, as I hover over it, it says web page. And the nice thing, of course, is it's Spark, so it's really intuitive. It's really straightforward. All you need to do is add a title of your story. You can add a subtitle if you want, and then you can just add stuff. So if I hover over this little thing here, I can add a photo, and that would actually show up in the background here. But as I scroll down, it just goes in sections. So think of each of these sections as like a slide. It'll scroll smoothly when you're looking at your actual, when you're working on it here. But when you go to present, it'll actually just go page by page. And you'll see what I mean when I show you my demo in a second. I'm going to tell you a story from my life about me being irresponsible. I know that's hard to imagine, but I was. So you can add photos, text, buttons, video, photo grid. And the video is nice because you can actually add links from YouTube. Yay. So you don't have to do anything like that weird other stuff that we were trying in last class. A glide show. I dare you, click on it, see what happens. It's a thing. A split layout. I'll show you some of those in my demo thing. So rather than actually show you how the tool works, I'm just going to jump right into a presentation because I think that's fairly straightforward. 7C, if you're having real issues with it, just ask me. You can send me an email and I will be sitting there waiting to answer all your questions. But without any further ado, let's take a look at mine. This is called The Test Drive. So here we go. This is what a presentation is going to look like. So if I was going to be, my plan was to do this in class, but obviously that didn't happen. So here we go. Let's go like this. And hopefully this is recording. Oof, I hope it's recording. We'll find out. All right, this is called the test drive, or boys are dumb. Let's keep going. So there's a nice little button down here. The last time I'm going to mention it, but there it is. So this is a Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive ST185. This is the competition version of my favorite car in the whole world. It's a rally racing car. I'm going to jump ahead. So this vehicle is obviously designed for some pretty extreme racing, but there's a road version of this vehicle as well. It's a 4-wheel drive turbocharged Celica. It is beautiful. It's the car I'm going to get when I retire because I love this thing. So what's the deal with this car? Well, we're going to get back to it later. First, a couple of ground rules, a couple of little background facts. It's a well-known fact. Boys are kind of dumb. It's true. And they like doing stupid things for fun. Also true. So in the summer of 1999, I was 19. I was out of high school, and I was having the best summer of my entire life. It was great. The days were consisting of going outside, and I was working as a surveyor all day. If you don't know what that is, it's where it's those guys that stand around on the road in the vest and they have a little stick and they hold onto it for a while and they move somewhere else, put the stick back down, and they're just doing measurements and stuff. I was outside. I was in the bush. I was like chopping down trees and tramping through all sorts of bushes and rivers and stuff. It was great. I loved it. And then at night, I would go home and I would just get on my mountain bike and ride with my friends until well after sunset, sometimes to the wee hours of the morning. I grew up in a little town called Prince George, which has amazing tracks. It's the size of Edmonton, but it's got the population of red deer, and the rest of it is just forest and single track mountain biking. It's an awesome place to be. So that was my life. Working, ride my mountain bike. But then, something showed up. This is the street version of my dream car. I know it's not much to look at. I know a lot of the gentlemen in the class are really into like the Koenigsegg's and the Lamborghinis and all those kind of fancy things. But for me, this is the car I want. It's out of the box. It's only 200 horses, but man, you can kit this thing out like crazy, and you had it pushing 800 horses with not a lot of work. So this is my dream car. Still is. And the funny thing is, this car was actually available. They don't make them anymore, and there was only about 3,000 of them ever made. But one of them showed up at the local dealership in my dumpy little town that I grew up in. And the crazy thing is, I mean, I'm 19. Like, I'm 19, and me and my other 19-year-old buddy, we go down to the dealership and ask if we can take it for a test drive. And they said, yeah, you can. And they didn't send anybody with us. 2 19-year-old guys with these idiot grins on their face asked to take a car for a test drive, and they let us. Now, with that said, I had driven this car a couple of times before with my dad, so maybe they were just, I was a familiar face. I don't know. But they let me take it, and I got a charge of it. I was excited. And there's this beautiful road. It's not this road. This is the Nürburgring. But this is kind of what this road felt like. Pristine, beautiful pavement, twists and curves, brand new road, just gorgeous. And it felt like this. This is one of the most famous racetracks in the world. But it was something like that, leading out to a lake, nobody on this road. And I had it all to myself, and I had this beautiful car and no one to tell me no. So you can maybe see where this is going. Maybe not. I don't know. Remember, boys are dumb. The speed limit on the road wasn't actually 25 kilometers an hour. It was 50. But I was topping out around 160 kph in the 50 zone. Now, the funny thing about the Celica Alltrack, it's a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And unlike most vehicles, it has a perfect front and rear weight balance. Most cars are like 55, 45 in terms of the way the weight is distributed in the car. This car is 50-50. It's perfect. And it's 4-wheel drive. So what that means is when you have a perfectly balanced car front and back, and you got 4 wheels all powering the vehicle on the pavement, if one tire loses control, loses grip on the pavement, all the tires lose grip on the pavement, and all at the same time. And that's exactly what happened. Going around a corner at about, I think I was only going about 150, only in the 50 zone. Going around a corner, and all 4 tires let go at the exact same time. And all of a sudden, my tight turn turned into a straight line, and I took the car straight off the side of the road. I was airborne. I sheared off a tree about 2 feet above the ground, and Before I knew it, of course, the car came to a dead stop. Amazingly, I got a scratch on my left foot, and that was it. The car was not so lucky. The car was not so lucky. It was totaled. And in that moment, my perfect summer came to an amazing, crashing end. But it's a summer that I will never forget. All right, that's it. So that's my story. And if any of you are interested to know the fallout from any of that, I'm happy to share. Yeah, but boys are dumb, right? So your stories are going to be something along those lines, where you've got a few pictures, maybe some video, just to help you illustrate your point. Notice I didn't have any photos at all of the actual incident. I just used photos to help my audience understand the things that I'm talking about, right? So I don't have to have access to the photos of that perfect vacation. I can find photos of Disneyland or that beach in Tahiti or whatever. But just pictures that illustrate the basic ideas. Remember, we're still going to be using our skills as non-copyright breakers. So, of course, Spark has Unsplash built right into it. So it's pretty easy to get copyright-free, high-quality images, but let's stick with that, okay? That's it. This is your project. I expect this will take some time, because you need to plan it out ahead of time. You need to find the photos and the videos that are going to back you up. And then you need to be ready to present this to the class. And that will happen right after November break. So you've got a couple of classes. You've got today, you've got next class to work on it. And then I'll see you after the break. And hopefully we'll all be able to present our work then.